When I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
the doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover, entered the winner for the long haul. Baby, it's a beautiful Friday. It's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday. All right, so I don't know if you've been peeping the news, but down in Tennessee, there's some craziness going on. The Republicans down in Tennessee, in the Tennessee state legislature, have lost their cotton picking minds. They have literally expelled two delegates, two young men of color who have articulated to the nth degree how ridiculous these Republicans can be. Tennessee Republicans reported, no, they voted yesterday to expel two black freshman lawmakers. You've never heard anything. So just like you got the unprecedented Donald J. Trump with the helicopter weave being indicted, no sitting president has ever been indicted. No delegates in the history of America, this is just unprecedented, get expelled for speaking out of turn in a gun safety protest, yet declined to remove a third Democratic lawmaker who was white and who participated in the same demonstration on the State House floor last week. So if you haven't been paying attention, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson are the two young black men who have just made me so proud, and I hope they make you proud. But today we're talking about some business here in the city of Baltimore in the state of Maryland. We're going to bring up Takia Robinson. Good morning. How are you, Takia?
Good morning, Doni. I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I understand that you're in business.
Yes. Yes, I am.
What's the name of your business?
My business name is Excellent Heart Home Care.
Wow. And how did you come to start Excellent Home Care?
I've been in the healthcare field for 20 years now. Ever since I was 7 years old, I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I always used to say, I cannot wait to turn 18 years old so I could work inside of a hospital. I just could not wait. I knew ever since I was 7 years old. By the time my first job was a summer job where I was working at McDonald's, it wasn't cutting it for me. I just couldn't wait till I turned 18. I was like, as soon as I turn 18, I'm going to go apply inside of the hospital and get a job inside of the hospital. So once I turned 18, I went and applied at Johns Hopkins as a dietary aide. I worked in the main kitchen on tray line where I would prepare the trays for the patients. Um, One of my main reasons of getting in the healthcare field would be because I always felt like if anything would happen to my immediate family, I would be the one to be able to take care of them. I would have the knowledge and know everything that someone in the family would need to know to take good care of our family members. So I decided to go on from there. So I started in the main kitchen on tray line and dietary. I stayed there for 1 year. After that, yeah, I bidded for a job working on the floor as a support associate where I was doing 7 jobs in one. I would transport patients, clean the patient rooms, pass the food trays out, run back and forth to the blood bank, picking up blood, discharging them. After they're discharged from the hospital, I had to turn over their room. And then I stayed there for like 2 years in Hopkins, and then I decided to go take a CNA GNA training program. I took a CNA GNA training program, and
So for those who don't know, tell me what CNA GNA is.
CNA GNA is the CNA part is a certified nursing assistant. Some of them work inside of a hospital. Some CNAs go to people homes. Some do hospice care. The GNAs are geriatric nursing assistants, where they mainly work inside of nursing homes and assisted livings. A CNA could work nearly everywhere. Some nursing homes don't accept CNAs, but they would prefer to have a GNA because it's geriatric. So certified geriatric nursing assistants, they don't draw blood. Certified nursing assistants, they would draw blood, start IVs, they would do catheterization, suctioning. They're mainly inside of the hospital, but a lot of them work at nursing homes also, and a lot of them do in-home care service, which what I have now, which is a home care.
So let me jump in here. What did COVID do to your industry?
Well, COVID didn't do anything to my industry because working in the healthcare field, you could never need a job because actually during COVID, they really needed CNAs, GNAs, nurses. So COVID didn't do anything. The only thing COVID did was for us, we had to get out. We had to get our COVID shots. We had to get the COVID shots, and we would have to wear our face masks. Only thing different inside of the hospital is you had to wear inside of the hospital and nursing homes, you had to gear up. It was certain things that you needed to enter the patient rooms or to go around the patients. You had to protect yourself and the patient. That's the only thing COVID did for nurses and CNAs and GNAs. We didn't lose out on anything.
So you always have a job.
Yes, I will. Yes, I never had to miss a day from work unless if I was sick, and that didn't happen. But you will never need a job working inside of the healthcare field at all. I never missed work. If anything, I gained more money because they were paying bonuses for you to come to work. They needed help. So working in the healthcare field, you'll never need a job. You will never need a job.
So one day you decided, presumably, to have your own healthcare business.
I did.
How did you get to that point?
I got to that point because I just said for one, I felt like I knew that I could do it. That was my destiny. And one day I was just sitting there thinking, and I was just like, I was sitting thinking one day, and I was like, it's something different I can do. And that popped up in my head, home care. I used to work for a home care agency myself before, but I didn't think of it years ago when I did. I didn't think of it. If I knew what I knew now, I wish I would have done it, but it's never too late. Better late than never. But what pushed me to it was I thought about it like I could just go ahead and run my own business and jump out there and be from client to client, going all over, taking care of my elderly people, my sick people that need it at home.
Where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Northeast County.
Do you have any entrepreneurs in your family? Any business owners in your family?
Yes, I do. I actually come from a family of nurses, to be honest with you. I do. My uncle, he's a millionaire. He's a multimillionaire. Then I have another one that's a millionaire. My aunts, one of my aunts is a director of nursing over at Bayview Medical Center. She's now about to graduate with her doctors. I have another aunt that is the owner of a bank out in Pikesville, Maryland. I have an aunt that she was a veteran, but she retired now. She actually ended up getting sick and she had to leave. She was discharged from there, so she's back home. So yes, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I think in my age bracket with the nieces and nephews and the grandkids, to be honest with you, I think I am one of the second grandkids to own my own business now. But all of us are really in the healthcare field, taking care of people, working in the hospital, nursing homes. I always worked inside of the nursing home. This will be my 16th year at my job at University of Maryland. So I'm still working and running my business.
So how has it been running your own business?
To be honest with you, I just recently got my license. I started the paperwork last year in March. It take here in Maryland a year to get your license for that. To become a licensed home care agency, you have to be licensed, and it takes a year for that or more. It took me a year, 1 year straight to wait for mine. So I just recently got them, and um, I don't want to say um, it's not a struggle. It's a job you have to do. If you want it, you have to put the work in. You got to show up for it. So I have all the caregivers. I have been having referrals come to me. Um, it's certain things that you have to do with when it comes to that. Sometimes you could be a private pay taker or you could receive Medicaid. It takes a while for Medicaid to come. So right now I'm taking private pay clients, and I want to say it's a lot of us out here. It's a lot of us out here, but you just have to sit yourself out and let the people know what makes you different from the other one. So it's a job, but you just gotta. Right now, it's exciting for me because I'm doing interviews, and I'm just like, instead of getting up, going to go work for University of Maryland. Now I'm interested in working for myself, doing the same thing. So it's not hard. It's just a job. You got to get the clients, you have to get the caregivers, and that's the part I'm working on now. I have been a little successful, but it takes time.
What is your goal?
My goal is to my goal is to set my empire, to have my caregivers give the best care and get our elderlies and our sick people back to where they were, mobile and doing the things that they would like to do, and have them healthy again. That is my goal. So my goal is to have an empire. I want to build my empire where I have a business running, where though everybody is on task and we can get to these clients and take care of these clients and give them the best care that they deserve.
So tell me, without mentioning names, a success story.
Um,
Anywhere in your career, someone you've been able to help and they got back on their feet, or maybe you did all you could and the family was very grateful. That's a success story too.
okay, so my successful story is I'm always helping someone. I'm always helping somebody. So, um, for instance, one of my girlfriends, her grandmother was sick, and she didn't have the medication that she needed, and they were saying that if she wasn't able to get the medication, she would have to go back in the hospital because that would have been the only way that she would be able to get her medication, and it was a lot of medication. My friend was stressing about it really bad. So she called me and she was asking me about the medication and what could she do. So I ended up looking up the medication because I deal with medication at work. I ended up looking the medication up to see what it was that she could use if she didn't have the brand that she needed. I actually was able to call one of my doctors. I asked them about the brand. They told me the brand. So I was able to give her the money so that she could get the medication, because it was a lot of money, but I saved her grandmother from not having to go back in the hospital or on dialysis.
You see that all the time? You see that often? Ooh.
I'm sorry, Mr. Donnie, I couldn't hear you.
Do you see that often? Do you run into that often where the cost of medication is hurting people?
Yes, absolutely, yes. A lot. So I was working at bedside at first on the floor in shock trauma. I was working there, and we ran into that problem a lot where either their Medicaid wasn't going to pay for the medication, or the patient didn't have the funds to get to get their medication. So then you bring a third party in where they will help, but it takes a lot of paperwork and they will have to be approved for it. Yes, most definitely.
What advice would you have for families who have a loved one, say a parent, and there's always this question about putting one's parent in a nursing home or keeping one's parent home where you can take care of them at home. Me, myself, I know that when you put people in a nursing home, from my experience, you might as well say goodbye to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would honestly say if you could dodge that bullet, I most definitely would dodge that bullet and use in-home care service, because at some point at home, you would be able to, even if you shouldn't have to keep an eye on it. You should just know that you should feel comfortable with that caregiver, giving the care that your family member need. But I would dodge that bullet and putting my family member in a nursing home. I honestly would not suggest it. At home, I honestly feel like at home, you have the eyes and the ears to see. You can go anytime. You can always pick up the phone and get to the caregiver to find out, what's going on, how your loved one is doing today, how were they acting, how were they progressing. At a nursing homes are not safe. I never ever wanted to work inside of a nursing home. If I had to work at a nursing home, that would have to be my last choice. I would have to be out of all options at that point.
Why?
For one, I feel like it's a lot of patients in there. That's the first thing. And a lot of caregivers a lot of caregivers are not in it for the patient care. Some of them are only in it for a job. I mean, for a paycheck. And I don't think that they make the rounds that they're supposed to make to change the uh residents. I just don't think they get the proper care. I honestly don't. I'm going to be honest. I honestly just don't think they get the proper care. I feel like they be mistreated because our elderly aged people, sometimes they have dementia, Alzheimer's, and
They can't tell you who hurt them.
right. They tend to not know what they're doing sometimes. So they do things like they get belligerent. Some of them get belligerent, and a lot of caregivers get frustrated with it. So
I gotta stop right here and just say our prayers go up for the soul of Brother Bay. He was a fighter in the Baltimore community. He worked with returning citizens.
Mhm.
And to find out that he was beaten to death in a nursing home still just causes so much pain to our hearts, to know that someone who did so much for so many people in his final days, a healthcare worker bashed him in his head, broke his hip, and he was killed. Brother Ellsworth Bay,
I'm so sorry.
shout out in heaven. He was one of my heroes in this city, fearless man. And shame on the person responsible for it. But elderly abuse is real, isn't it, Takia?
Yes, it is. It is. And like I was saying, it's because, they had, and it's not intentionally coming from them. It's really not intentionally. It's just something that they going through a transition. It's dementia, Alzheimer's. They forget a lot, and it depends on what are their it depends on what were their diagnosis and what happened with them. Sometimes you have elderlies that fall and hit their head. They have a bleed in their head. That changes the train of thought also. And once you get one of those patients and you're going to come on, Miss Murray, we have to get you ready for bed, or we have to get you up and get you ready to get dressed for this morning so you can eat breakfast. And the resident are pushing, no, don't touch me, no. And then you got that caregiver that's just like, you're going to get up, either you get up or you just going to lay there. That's just how we go with a nursing home. I think the nursing homes are way different from in-home care and from the hospital, so because once you go in there.
We're talking with Takia Robinson. She has a home health care business, Excellent Hearts Home Care Services. 443-515-3653. The number is right there. Takia, 3653. Come on, Takia. Come on, finish telling me.
Oh yes, so I just think it all comes from the person. It has to be in you. It have to be. You have to want to be able to take care of someone. It have to be in you. You have to be for the patients. You can't just want to go in for a paycheck. And once again, you have a lot of people that go for the paycheck. Me personally, I'm a Cancer. Very emotional. I love taking care of people. Once again, my reason for getting in the healthcare field was because I wanted to be the one to be able to take care of my immediate family, my mom, my father.
And
And
this is something that's just inside of you.
Yes.
You don't know where it came from.
I was destined for it. That's what I was destined. I already knew when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. When I was 7 years old, my aunt used to always come to my aunt's house to pick up my little cousin. She would always have the scrubs on. So I was fascinated with the scrubs also. And
Why? Uniform?
I knew you worked inside of a hospital with a lot of people. And I just was like, I wanted to work there. And when I turned 18, I said, when I turned 18, I'm going to get inside that hospital. And John Hopkins was the hospital.
But it had to be more than the scrubs.
It was because I wanted to be able to be the one to take care of my loved ones. I didn't want my loved ones being mistreated. I wanted to know when something was going on, or if one of them was in the hospital and the doctor came to talk to us as a family and they started saying, using these abbreviations, saying these words and telling us what was going on. If they couldn't do this, I wanted to be knowledge to know that. I wanted to be able to sit there and be like, yes, I know what that is. Or if somebody in the family asking, do you know what this is? Can you help me with this or this, and third? I wanted to be the one to be able to say, I know what it is. I can do it. And once I got in the healthcare field, I climbed the ladder. I did just what I wanted to do. You got to get in the door. You got to get your foot in the door. I got my foot in the door, started on tray line, stayed there for a year. I went and bidded for a support associate, stayed there for a year. Then I went as a certified nurse. I went to school to get my certified nursing assistant license. I did that. And that's just where I've been at. I haven't worked outside of taking care of anyone. I have always been inside of the hospital taking care of people. And I didn't went to school for surgical tech. I didn't went to school for anesthesia tech. So I just kept climbing the ladder. And I became a certified nursing assistant. From the certified nursing assistant, patient care technician, from the patient care technician to surgical tech, now anesthesia. This is my stop right here because I'm fully focused on my business and I'm going to stay here for a while. But once my business is where it needs to be, I want to be able to be out there with my caregivers, taking care of my clients.
So you are hiring?
Yes, I am hiring.
So take a moment and tell people what you're looking for.
What I'm looking for is caregivers, certified nursing assistants, companion caregivers, home health aides. I'm hiring for all shifts, 7 days a week, weekends, all around the clock because we're 24/7 service.
Okay. And you want them to call you at 443-515-3653.
Yes, they can reach me on 443-515-3653. I'm accepting new clients also.
Any age, anywhere,
No,
any part of Baltimore? You go outside of Baltimore?
yes, I in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm outside of Baltimore, Maryland. Even what was I about to say?
How far away? 45 miles? Like DC's 45 miles away.
So I wouldn't go outside. I'm gonna do 50 miles. I'll work with them. I'm working with my staff and my clients. I'm outside of Baltimore City, Baltimore County. I'm doing Harford County also. So
Harford County?
yes, Harford County also. Yes.
Any race, black, white, Jew, Gentile.
So you could be any race. 21. You have to be 21 years and old.
21 and older.
Yes, you have to be. Yeah.
So
Well, no, you could be 18 years. 18 years. I'm sorry, 18 years and older. I cannot accept anyone under 18. You have to have a CPR card. You have to have a CNA. But I hire companion caregivers also. If they don't have a CNA license, they could be a companion caregiver. All race.
And what? Okay, so you're there. You know, in America, people are living longer. Not always in the black community because it seems like we're dying younger.
Yeah.
But overall, a lot of people are living longer lives, and that would require more health care, especially if the children are working. And some people, you know, they just don't have the time, or they don't. Let me ask you this: what about people who don't know what to do? Like they want to stay home and take care of their loved one, but maybe somebody else, maybe their spouse is saying, "I'll just put your mother in a nursing home." Do you see families struggling with that decision?
I do. I actually had a few calls. I just recently had 3 phone calls where it was a niece taking care of her uncle. It was one of my girlfriends that was taking care of this lady that is not family, but her family just left her, and she like trying to get care for her right now. So yes, I have. And my caregivers are trained. They're trained.
You know, I would think lawyers might be giving you referrals.
I was told to reach out to some lawyers. I actually was told to reach out to some lawyers.
Like estate lawyers, estate planning. We just had on the show yesterday Samra Stevenson, and she does trust wills. She helps people take care of their stuff, their matters, their business matters before leaving Earth. A lot of times we don't want to have that discussion.
Right. Absolutely. You're right. And I just had a phone call like that also where the young lady granddaughter was receiving the funds for her, but wasn't given the funds. She was laying.
Oh, no, you get me started on cruddy stuff that some family do. Every family got a butthole in it.
Yeah.
Every family got a jerk.
Yeah, and that's the reason why that was the reason why I stated my family was not like that, but that's why I stated I wanted to be in the healthcare field so I would know. But yeah.
There's always one in the family. There's always that one sibling don't want to help with any of the work. And as soon as Big Mama died, they all in Big Mama's drawer.
And that's
looking for the ring, looking for this, looking for that, trying to steal the money. Every family got one. I don't care who you are on the earth. Yeah. Every family.
That is true. That is it.
Got a real jerk in it. And you find out who they are as soon as things get rocky. Yep. Oh, Mama promised me this. And you ain't been to see Mama in 16 years.
And that's just how we go. But I'm very
They better not come around me because I don't play with them. Family or not. Some people family, some people just relatives. They like a plastic bag stuck up in a tree. I know. I guess I'm related to them, but I don't really hang with them. You ever see a plastic bag stuck up in a tree?
Yes.
That's the jerk in the family.
Yes, indeedy.
Just gotta act up. And the first one at the funeral to be doing all that boo-hoo, hoo-hoo, all loud, standing up, falling out, falling in the grave.
It's
Ain't been to see Big Mama once.
it's
I
so
know him. I know him well.
it's so
I will push him right in the harbor, and I got a lawyer too. I said self-defense.
it's so funny that you say that because I have these two aunts that at every funeral they get into it and be ready to fight about something. But yes, Donnie. I'm excited about my business because once again, I am going to build the empire. I'm going to build the empire, but I want to train and I want to have my staff to give the best care to our clients. I want them to give the best care. So I'm going to have ongoing training for them and that my clients are going to be treated like family, which I'm building a family empire because I want my staff to also feel love. But at the end of the day, we have to also give our clients the best care and make them feel loved also.
So you're not used to, I mean, you are used to being around millionaires. Suppose you get a client and they are like a billionaire and you take real good care of that loved one. And lo and behold, you find your name in the will where they done left you $1 billion. Would you still continue with your business?
Absolutely. That is my life. Working in the healthcare field and taking care of people, that is my life. I was destined to do that. And once I seen that ad about home care on Facebook, I instantly said, I have to do this. And I instantly did it. I went and I got that paperwork done and I waited for my license to come. I could have been so I could have started without my license, but I didn't want to do that, and I would not have had because I would have been hurting myself. But I was destined to do that. I'm ready to get out here in these streets with my caregivers and give the best care. I'm going to be right there with them. I'm going to resign from my job so that I could be in there taking care of my clients also. And I know I do. I take good care. I know I was destined to do this, and I know that I'm a caregiver that give the best care. I worked at Shock Trauma on the unit for neurotrauma for 7.5 years, and I would take care of my patients, bathing them, and all of that. And I had patients to say to me, "You have kids, don't you?" And I said, yes. I said, why you ask that? They said, I could tell how you taking care of me. That's how I know, because I know you have kids and I know that you take care of your kids just like that. Just from how you taking care of me and bathing me. I wouldn't wait for no nurse to go on the run with me to give no bath. Early in the morning, I had a whole routine. I worked 7 in the morning to 7:30 in the evening. My first thing was to go get shift report. I would take a cup of water to my patients once I got on the floor. I would take a cup of water, go get their vitals. I would ask them, is it anything they need? Was they ready to get up and get bathed and get their self started for the day? Some would say, no, it's too early. Some would be ready. I will go in there, bathe my patient, have them up out the bed in the chair, ready for the day. By myself. I could run circles.
And that's why you're running a business.
Yep.
We want people to call you up 443-515-3653. Anything else you want to share before we get you out of here?
I just want to say that if you choose excellent home care for yourself, your loved one, you will not go wrong. You will be happy. We will take good care of you and your family member. I promise you that. Excellent Health Care is the company that you will want to be with and come and work for us.
443-515-3653. 443-515-3653. Takia Robinson, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You did a great job.
Thank you, Donnie. It was nice being on here with you. Enjoy.
Shout out to Shatina Phipps. Can't forget Shatina.
I'm actually about to meet up with her right now. Yeah, I'm about to meet up with her. That's my HR specialist. So sweet. So sweet to have on the team to build the empire. So she's with me. She's with me on my journey.
Good stuff. Thank you, Takia.
Thank you.
Good morning, world.